Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the worst episodes of the Powerpuff Girls. First off, we have Sunscream. So picture this. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, three little superheroes, decide to hit the beach for a well-deserved break from saving the world. Sounds fun, right? I mean, who wouldn't want a day filled with waves, suncastles, and sunshine? But in their excitement, they rush out the door and totally forget something super important: sunscreen. Yep, even superheroes can make rookie mistakes. At first, everything's perfect. The girls are splashing around, building epic sandcastles, and they're just having the best time. But as the day goes on, the sun starts to take its toll, and fast. They're so wrapped up in their beach fun that they don't even realize their skin is starting to turn red. And, well, you know what comes next. Soon enough, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup are dealing with full-blown nasty sunburns. And when I say nasty, I mean every movement looks like it hurts. It's that kind of sunburn where you don't even want to move, let alone fly around and fight crime. But this is where things take a twist, because of course, evil doesn't take a day off, even when you're sunburned to a crisp. Out of nowhere, a massive bug-like monster shows up, terrorizing the beach. And here's where it gets hilarious. The girls, who are usually zipping around in midair, are now so burned that even moving is painful. Their super speed, gone. Their punches, barely landing. They're literally fighting through the pain, and it's both painful and kind of hilarious to watch. Now, the whole battle with this monster is filled with moments that will make you cringe and laugh at the same time. The girls try their best to fight, but they're stumbling around, their movements are stiff, and every punch they throw seems to hurt them more than it hurts the monster. It's like watching superheroes in slow motion, except it's not a cool slow-mo, it's pure sunburn agony. But here's the thing, even though they're struggling, the girls don't give up. That's what makes them heroes, right? They push through the pain, working together to finally take down the monster. It's a hard-fought victory, but they save the beach and everyone on it. Cue the applause. Once the battle's over, they limp home completely exhausted, and probably even more sunburned than before. Professor Utonium, being the caring dad/scientist that he is ready with aloe vera. He soothes their burns and gives them a little "I told you so" speech about sunscreen, and reminds them that even superheroes need to take care of themselves. The episode wraps up with the girls finally resting at home, recovering from one of their toughest days ever. It's a fun, lighthearted reminder that no matter how powerful you are, you've got to take care of your health, because even saving the world is hard when you've got a sunburn. So, what do you think? Have you ever had a sunburn so bad that you could barely move, let alone fight off a giant monster? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, wear sunscreen even if you're a superhero. In the Powerpuff Girls episode, The City of Frownsville, Townsville is unexpectedly thrown into a state of gloom and despair when a new character, Lou Gubrious, arrives in the city. Lou is a melancholic street performer whose one-man band performances play the saddest, most depressing tunes anyone has ever heard. His music is so overwhelmingly sorrowful that it has profound effects on the entire town, causing everyone who hears it to break down in tears. As the citizens of Townsville become consumed by their sadness, the once happy and vibrant city turns into a place of constant misery, now dubbed Frownsville. The Powerpuff Girls, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup are determined to figure out what's causing everyone to be so downhearted. As they investigate, they trace the source of the city's misery back to Lou Gubrious and his melancholic music. Lou, who is deeply unhappy himself, doesn't realize the impact his songs are having on the town, as his music is a reflection of his own loneliness and sadness. The girls try to confront him, but Lou explains that he's always been miserable, and that his music is the only way of expressing this emotion. Realizing that Lou isn't a typical villain and that his actions are unintentional, the girls take a different approach. Instead of fighting him, they try and cheer him up by showing him the brighter side of life. They encourage him to change the tone of his music, showing him that happiness and joy can also be expressed through his songs. With some help and guidance from the girls, Lou transforms his music into something more uplifting and positive. As Lou's music changes, so too does the mood of the city. The once depressed citizens of Frownsville began to smile again, and Townsville is restored to its usual cheerful state. Lou, having learned the power of positive emotions, leaves town feeling much happier and more fulfilled than when he arrived. The Powerpuff Girls, having resolved the problem without resorting to violence, once again save the day by turning a situation of despair into one of hope and joy. The City of Frownsville is a unique episode that explores the themes of sadness, emotional expression, and the power of music to influence mood. Instead of facing off against a traditional villain, the Powerpuff Girls take on a different kind of challenge, helping someone find happiness and, in turn, saving their city from despair. The Powerpuff Girls episode Live and Let Dynamo. Buckle up because things are about to get chaotic in Townsville. So, the episode kicks off with our favorite trio, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, enjoying a nice peaceful day. But just when you think it's all sunshine and rainbows, guess who crashes the party? That's right, it's Dynamo, the giant robotic suit that Professor Utonium created to help the girls out when things get tough. But instead of being a hero, Dynamo goes rogue and starts tearing the city apart. Talk about a plot twist! As the girls watch their former ally go berserk, you can see the panic setting in. They've always relied on Dynamo to back them up, but now he's turned into a one-robot wrecking crew. I mean, can you imagine? One moment you're chillin' and the next you're dodging a giant robot that's just smashed through the local coffee store. So what do our girls do? They spring into action, of course. But it quickly becomes clear that Dynamo isn't responding to their usual commands. It's like trying to reason with a brick wall. They even try to manually shut it down, but with a robot that big and strong, getting close is a whole different challenge. The tension builds as the girls realize that something must have gone terribly wrong with Dynamo's programming. Buttercup suggests they just smash it, but Blossom, ever the strategist, cautions that destroying it might cause even more chaos in Townsville. I mean, they're superheroes, but they're not trying to wreck their own city in the process. Meanwhile, Professor Utonium is on full-on panic mode. He's racing against time to figure out what caused Dynamo to malfunction. After some frantic investigation, he discovers that the robot's power core is unstable. That's right, there's a core inside this mechanical beast that's gone haywire. He quickly relays this crucial information to the girls, who now have a mission. They need to reach that core and deactivate it before it's too late. In an intense sequence, the girls hatch a plan to distract Dynamo, while Blossom makes her way inside to locate the core. Bubbles, with her agility, zips around the robot like a little firefly, drawing its attention away. Meanwhile, Buttercup is using her strength to attack Dynamo's legs, trying to slow it down. It's a classic Powerpuff teamwork moment, and you can't help but cheer them on. Finally, with the distraction working, Blossom makes her move and manages to sneak inside Dynamo. It's a nail-biting moment as she navigates through all the chaos, but she finds the power core. After a tense struggle, she finally deactivates it, and boom! Dynamo powers down and collapses, sparing Townsville from total destruction. With the robot finally stopped, the girls breathe a huge sigh of relief. Professor Utonium rushes in, apologizing for the malfunction. He explained that the overload was completely unintentional, but the girls reassure him it's all good. They're just relieved they managed to save the city before things got even worse. In the end, Professor Utonium promises to fix Dynamo and make sure this kind of disaster never happens again. And honestly, Live and Let Dynamo is such an exciting episode that really shows off the girls' resourcefulness and teamwork. It's not just about brawn, it's about brains, strategy, and working together to overcome even the craziest challenges. So, what do you think? How would you handle a rogue robot rampaging through your town? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and remember, sometimes even the best tools can cause chaos if they're not kept in check. Until next time, keep being awesome. The last episode of this video, titled Monstra-City. Get ready for a thrilling adventure filled with monsters, misunderstandings, and a whole lot of heart. So the video kicks off with our favorite trio, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, living their usual happy lives in Townsville. But then they catch wind of something strange. A mysterious new city has popped up nearby, and it's called Monstra-City? Naturally, the girls' curiosity is piqued. I mean, who wouldn't want to check out a city rumored to be filled with monsters? Adventure awaits! As the girls venture into Monstra-City, they are immediately met with some bizarre sights. Think foggy streets, eerie buildings, and some seriously strange creatures lurking around every corner. It's a total contrast to their vibrant Townsville, and the girls realize they've stepped into a whole new world of weirdness. But here's where it gets interesting. As they explore, the girls discover the so-called monsters are not the terrifying creatures they expected. Instead, they find misunderstood beings who have been shunned by society. These monsters are living in fear of being judged by the people of Townsville, which has forced them into their own isolated community. This revelation really hits home for the Powerpuff Girls, who understand the value of acceptance and friendship. But just when things seem to be calming down, a group of monster hunters barge into Monstra-City, intent on capturing the creatures and dragging them back to Townsville. Now the girls realize they can't stand by and watch these monsters get hunted down. They quickly come up with a plan to protect their new friends from these hunters who see monsters as nothing but threats. What follows is a whirlwind of action and creativity as the girls band together to outsmart the hunters. They use their powers to set clever traps and create diversions, showcasing their teamwork and quick thinking. Picture Buttercup throwing punches while Bubbles flies around, leading the hunters in the opposite direction. It's thrilling to watch. Through their daring escapades, the girls also share some heartwarming moments with the monsters, helping them build confidence and embrace their true selves. The transformation is inspiring, as the once timid creatures begin to stand up for themselves. All thanks to the Powerpuff Girls' encouragement. This is where the episode truly shines, illustrating the importance of understanding and acceptance. Now let's talk about the climax. In an epic showdown, the Powerpuff Girls face off against the hunters, and it's an all-out battle of wits. Using creativity and teamwork, they manage to outsmart all the hunters and ensure the monsters stay safe in Monstra-City. Talk about girl power! As the dust settles and the battle comes to a close, the Powerpuff Girls bid farewell to their newfound friends. The monsters express their gratitude, realizing they are not alone, and that there are those who will stand up for them. It's a touching moment that really wraps up the episode beautifully. In the end, Monstra-City stands out as a memorable episode that tackles the themes of friendship, acceptance, and the importance of looking beyond appearances. The Powerpuff Girls prove that true strength lies in defending those who can't defend themselves, by bridging the gap between the people of Townsville and the monsters of Monstra-City. The girls show that empathy and understanding can lead to real change. So, what do you think of this episode? Have you ever felt like a misunderstood monster? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep on spreading that positivity and always fight for what's right.